Hi guys, it is Saturday, December 14th. Everybody is getting ready for the holidays and the hustle and bustle and trying to get everything done. I hope you guys are doing great. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on around here. Um, I haven't had too much of a chance to go and visit any locations. I went to location number 2, what was it, last week. And as I was reviewing the footage, it was interesting because I seen a male in the background, and I zoomed in on that and I looked at it, and I could not tell if that was a man in a ghillie suit, which it should not have been because this is a park and there is no hunting in this park. So I don't know why this person would have been in there. But the other thing what was interesting about that is I recognized the face. So I'm wondering if, you hear about sometimes the Bigfoot will wear animal skins over their heads. So I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to look at this picture closer. Maybe I'll put it on the community page so you guys can see it and tell me what you think. Because the face looks very human, and I've seen that before where there's skin showing. The young male that came here, Clifford, has a very human-like face. He looks like an old hippie, or a young hippie, I should say. He's got, like wavy red hair, and the only way that you can tell that he's really a Bigfoot is he's got the beard and he's got the mustache. Is it the chest hair and the hair along his neck? That's not a human thing, so that is how you could really tell that that's not a man, like a wild man living in the woods, which, when you think about it, the Bigfoot are actually wild people living in the woods. They're just a people, and they're living their life not under the normal social constraints that we have. They went one way, we went another, and they're ruled by their own social constructs and behaviors that they adhere to. So that was interesting because I really wasn't expecting that to be found in the background of location number 2. And it kind of surprised me, but this is the second time I recognized this man or Bigfoot. I'm not sure, like I said, which one it is, but he showed up twice. And I can't remember if he showed up in that location or another location or on my property. I'm not sure. But people think that, everybody's getting their Christmas lights up, or they've had their Christmas lights up already. And one of the things that came up was Bigfoot and the Christmas lights. Now, this is just from my experience and my perspective. The ones around me love the outside lights. Some people say that the Bigfoots don't like the lights, and that's how you keep them away from your property, is by putting motion lights out. But for whatever reason, I have icicles hanging on my front roof line, and I have bushes. Peppers wants to say hi. Oh, every time I videotape, Missy gets up here. Here she is. That's a Peppers. She loves the video. Never fails. I don't know if it's because I'm sitting in the chair and she can get up here and you don't need to see her rear end. But here she is. So, and I have lights, nut lights on my bushes on the one side of my property. And they love them. They have no problems with the lights. I think it's something different for them to look at. You know, it's a change. Anytime you have a change, you get excited. Even we do, like when we're changing to the Christmas holidays and stuff. You know, it's an exciting time. So, plus winter's coming and they're getting all their stuff ready for the winter. I'm sure they have things that they have to do to be able to prepare for the winter, for them to be able to, you know, live their lives through the winters just like we do. And the Y branch is still in my front yard, shoved in the ground about a foot. And I've had branches blow all over the place, and this thing has not moved once. It's still there, it's still steady. I decorated it for Halloween, and I decorated it for Christmas. I found these bulbs at Home Depot that are about this big, and they're battery operated. So I took some twine and I hung them on the one part of the Y branch so they light up at night. So I had promised him that I would, promised Olaf, the little one, that I would decorate his Y stick for Christmas and put some lights out there. I have some bows that I want to put out there too. I want to, like, I don't know if I'm going to staple them, or I think I'm going to staple them to the Y branch. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to put them down the trunk. And then I have lights that line my driveway, little, like, driveway marker bulbs. Are about this big and they're white. So I have lights pretty much, you know, around everywhere except for a couple. I don't have any in the back, and I have some around my doorway on the side of the house with 2 candles. So there's a pretty good amount of lights in the front yard, and they don't seem to have a problem with that at all, and they seem to like it. So I know when I come home from work, when I'm trying to get in the door, the little one will mind speak, lights, 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 lights. I said, all right, just give me a minute to get in the door, and then I will plug all the lights in, because I plug them before I go to bed, and then I plug them back in the morning, and unplug them when I leave for work, and then I'll plug them back in when I come home from work. So I don't leave them plugged in all the time, and he really enjoys looking at them. Now, this is another thing that happened, and I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last video. I took a pumpkin pie and a sausage and some leftover brie cheese that I had out there for Thanksgiving with a Diet Coke. Now, they did not touch the Diet Coke. I took a Mountain Dew out there, and they drank the Mountain Dew. Well, something drank the Mountain Dew. I'm not sure if it was them or not. There were teeth marks in the bottom of it where it was chewed open, so that could have very well been a raccoon. The sausage wrapper, when I went out there, was found a little bit a ways from the table, and the brie wrapper was found a little bit ways from the table. The brie wrapper was not chewed on. The sausage I had opened a little bit, so all they had to do was rip it. That was chewed on the other end, but they were not by pointy teeth, they were by square teeth. There were square bite marks in there. So I found that interesting. And the pumpkin pie, it was a whole pie in a box. And that's how I set it out there. And everything is gone. The box, the pie tin, the pie, it's all just gone. There was no wrappers anywhere around, so I don't know if he or they or which one took it back someplace and stashed it, because I do know they will like stack deer, or they'll stash food somewhere. And I have no idea where that is. There could be plenty. I just know that it's back behind my house somewhere, whether it's to the north or the south or somewhere in between. I have no, well, north and south. I had that wrong. I have no idea, but a raccoon cannot carry a whole pumpkin pie box and everything off. That needs somebody that has hands to be able to carry that off like that. So I found that very interesting. And the other thing that was interesting is we've been having a ton of wind around here. We had a little bit of snow. So I have 2 trees out in front of my front door, just little like 3-foot trees, and I put Santa hats on them because I like, you know, that just that old know me look that brings. So, and the Santa hats are on there pretty securely, and if they do blow off, like in the past, I've found them several feet from where they've blown off from. You know, the trees will be blown over from the winds, and then the hats will be like a few feet away. Now that has happened. Well, the trees blew over, one of the hats stayed on, the other hat is nowhere to be found. It is completely gone. I have checked everywhere and there is no hat anywhere. So I'm assuming that Olaf or one of the others, it could be one of the others, it could be another younger one, I can't necessarily say, but I believe it was Olaf that took the hat, and you know, he just took it wherever and he's running around with this hat. I don't know, in my mind's eye I can see him running around with this hat on his head, you know, or just playing with it. He has one other time, I had a mower that I had left out. It was a push mower, and it had a wire for the choke, and you detached the wire, and that's how the lawnmower shut off, and then you attached it to pull the choke back to make the lawnmower run. And that I left it out there for like a whole summer or something, and when I went out there to start the mower or to put the mower away or whatever I was doing, the wire was missing. So the wire had been taken completely off, and it was attached securely at one end, and it was a pretty sturdy wire. It wasn't a flimsy wire. It took a little bit to be able to bend it, and that's how it was able to hold the choke back to be able to start the mower. So I thought that was interesting. And of course, like I said in the previous video, they, you know, have some things stashed in the semi behind my house that they've gotten from various places. In fact, there was a bottle of Sprite in there one time that I found, and I think I cleaned that up and threw it in the garbage when I was in there putting the straw in there. But so it's interesting. And then the last thing that just happened is I usually will bake one batch of a different type of Christmas cookies for like, I try to do 4 batches, so it's like 4 weeks before Christmas. But we have like 2 more weeks before Christmas, a little less than 2 weeks. So I had started and made those peanut butter kiss cookies. Well, I always, since I've established the relationship with them here, I always take a bag of cookies, save some cookies for them, and take out and put at the gifting table. So I took those out there in a small bag. I took the peanut butter Hershey Kiss cookies out there and I put them on the table. And then today, when I was finished putting the rest of my lights up and I was putting all my tools away and I was throwing stuff in the garbage, I came back, and in the middle of my driveway is a Y stick, and it's pretty good size. It's probably like this big. And under it is another smaller branch. So it looks like a cross. And the Y stick is laying on the branch. You know, the Y stick is vertical, and then the other branch is horizontal. So it looks like this, but with the Y. So I took that as a thank you for the cookies, because that was not there yesterday. So that was pretty interesting. And I love the little things that he does like that, because it takes some kind of thought to be able to place things a certain way. So that tells me that, you know, and you have to remember, I placed him at like 5 years old. So this is a 5-year-old doing a 5-year-old mentality thing. This is his way of saying thank you. So that's pretty cool. It's really neat to watch him grow, if that's what you would want to call it, as much as I can watch him. Because in the beginning, when he, you know, it's almost 3 years now, it's about, well, no, it's 2 years and 1 month, because I moved in November, so it's 2 years. And 2 years ago, when he first started by that window, he couldn't whistle. He could just screech. So I would hear screeches outside of my front window rather than, you know, a whistle. And now he whistles, and he's pretty good at it, and he's pretty loud. So, and you can tell the difference in the whistles from their whistle and the whistle of a bird, because the tone of it, the loudness of it, and the like purpose of it. There's been times where I have been, and I can't whistle, so I can't do it, but I have been whistled repeatedly, like excited, like I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So it'd be like a whistle, 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 you know, trying to get my attention. And like I said, when I was doing the leaves, and I heard that puppy coyote bark, and then when I went back there again, then I heard the whistle, whistle, like somebody was calling their dog. So I assumed that that was one of them that had the coyote pup, and he was calling him back away from me, because I had told them when I went out there, keep these coyotes off me. You guys, this is your job. Keep the coyotes off me. I'm putting these leaves on your trails so you'll have nice, soft bed of leaves to walk on. So I'm doing me a favor, I'm doing you a favor, so just keep the coyotes away until I'm done. So, and then I heard that, or however, when it was, you know, it just sounded like somebody calling their dog. It was interesting. And, you know, the language that's coming out now is also interesting, and I can't expound any more on that. I talked about that a little bit in the other video. But I wanted to update you guys on what was going on. And I said I had 2 stories, and I had them in my email, and I don't know what happened to them. They are gone. So if you guys sent me stories to my email, please send them again, and I'll make sure I save them somehow this time. I thought they would stay in there. I looked in all the folders, and they're just gone, and I don't want to get the story wrong, so I'm not going to try and say it from memory. So, all right, well, you guys have a great Saturday, and we will talk to you soon. I'm gonna try and get out at one of the locations tomorrow. We'll see if it's warm enough. and see what's going on out there, and I'll take some video, and we will talk to you guys later. Have a great Saturday. Oh, and thank you for subscribing and for your comments and for watching the videos. I appreciate it so much. We're all here to learn from each other and to grow and to learn how to navigate living amongst our forest people friends. And that's why I made this channel, so that we can help each other do that by sharing experiences, advice, and stories. All right, you guys, good night.